Ayan, pinutol lang natin kasi medyo mahaba na, tsaka sumilip si sumilip si I President, si Tita I, kinamusta ko, tsaka kinakamusta yung CI as a whole kasi walang pasok today. Tapos pumasok ako kasi dito ako sa school nag-review kasi I cannot do this at home, maingay sa bahay. Anyway, no, moving forward, again, balik tayo dun sa metaphor ng itlog. Yung itlog, kung mapapansin nyo, meron siyang yolk. And yung yolk napapaligitan ng white ng egg and both of them are covered by shell, 'di ba? So similarly, cells in our body has three major structure. Yung yolk, no, siya yung nucleus, yung yung shell together with the membrane, siya yung plasma membrane ng cells. And yung cytoplasm, siya yung fluid, no, na naka-cover dun sa nucleus and other membrane-bound organelles, no? Yun yung yolk, 'di ba? So similarly, ganun yung structure ng ating cell. Uh, and at the same time, yung mga eggs naman, no? Chicken egg, ostrich egg, they are also cell. Okay? Sila yung egg cell ng mga uh, female birds, no? So, ganun yung structure niya. So, today, we are going to have a short discussion of overall of this structure. So, as you can see, we have a lot, no? Ito yung listahan natin ng structures. Wait lang po. Ayan, we have the three major structure, no? We have the plasma membrane, nucleus. Sabi ko nga, ito yung shell, yung plasma membrane, yung shell, yung nucleus, yung yolk, and cytoplasm is the white of the egg. Okay? So, bukod sa major na ito, sa major three features na ito, structure na to, we also have what we call the organelles. Okay? These organelles, they're visible for both, minsan sila ay visible sa plants, minsan sa animals lang. Pero we will see them, no? Mamaya alamin natin alin ba dito yung makikita lang sa animals, alin dito yung hindi nakikita sa animals, nasa plants lang siya. Okay, tingnan natin. So, let's focus first sa first one which is the plasma membrane. Yan, plasma membrane. O, tingnan nyo. Okay? Now, in discussing the different structure of cells, no, ang ginagamit namin dito, we usually use metaphors, no? At ang metaphor na ginagamit ko madalas dito, it's either the CT or the CI, no? Kasi si plasma membrane, ganito lang yan guys, ganito lang siya kasimple, no? Si plasma membrane, diyan nag-e-entry, pumapasok, at saka lumalabas yung different substances in and out of the cell. So that is its function, no? Siya yung nagre-regulate ng entry and exit of substances sa cell. And at the same time, no, siya yung bumabalot sa buong cell, no? In order to maintain its shape and size, no? And of course, kung siya yung nagre-regulate ng entry at exit ng cell, siya din yung nagpo-protect ng mga internal contents ng cell para hindi ito makalabas, no? Especially yung very important na mga organelles para hindi sila makakatakas, okay? Within the bound of the cell. So, si plasma membrane, siya yung pinaka-gate. Halimbawa, dito sa CI, yung gate natin, no? Doon tayo nalabas, doon tayo napasok. At the same time, may fence tayo para hindi makalabas yung mga dapat nasa loob lang, para hindi makapagka-cutting yung mga bata. Ganon din yung plasma membrane, 'di ba? Binabalutan niya yung cell para hindi makalabas yung mga important stuff, and at the same time, it regulates kung ano yung nalabas at napasok ng cell natin. Okay? That is your plasma membrane. And as simple as that. And at the same time, no, yung kanyang structure, this is uh, very interesting. Kung mapapansin nyo, kakaiba yung kanyang structure, no? We have proteins over here, Yung proteins na yan, diyan napasok, diyan nalabas, parang channels yan. Pero at the same time, itong layer ng walls na yan, kung mapapansin niyo may parang fence dito, yung blue at saka yung red. It is made out of phospholipid bilayer. Ibig sabihin, made out of phosphate and at the same time lipids. Lipids meaning yan ay fats. And ano nangyayari dito? Kung mapapansin nyo, yung blue nasa outer part, okay, nasa outer part, and yung red nasa inner part. And yung red na yan yung lipids natin, no? Yung lipids natin, of course, lipids, they are fat. So therefore, they are hydrophobic. And ito naman ating phosphate layer, no? Sila naman ay hydrophilic, kabaliktaran naman. They are not afraid of water. So, kaya siya ganyan para magkakaroon ng gradient. Pero eventually, no, pag pinag-usapan natin yung yung ating, what we call this, cell transport, no, doon natin hihimayin yung ating, itong structure na ito as a whole. But for now, we need to understand that plasma membrane is the gate and the fence of our cells. Siya yung gate at saka siya yung fence. Kasi sa kanya pumapasok, sa kanya lumalabas, and siya yung nagpo-protect ng internal contents ng cell. Okay? Now, we have a very specialized structure, no? However, this structure is only present, ito ay present lamang sa plants and sa bacteria. Okay? This is what we call the cell wall, no? And cell wall protects the cell and at the same time it provides a definite shape. Ibig sabihin, yung cell, no, nakabound na lang siya dun sa shape na yon. For example, ang shape ng cell wall ay pa-box. So therefore, pa-box din yung cells natin, no? And it provides strength and rigidity, no? And makikita mo itong difference ng animal cell tsaka ng plant cell kapag sinubukan mong hawakan yung ating mga structure. For example, pag hinawakan mo yung inyong balat, mararamdaman mo, no, that it is not rigid. Kumbaga, very flexible, very elastic. However, pag hinawakan mo naman yung bark or yung puno, yung outer shell ng puno, mapapansin nyo, very rigid, no? And that is because of their cell wall, no? And that is cell wall na present lang sa plants and bacteria, no? Pero sa atin wala tayong cell wall, very flexible, very elastic, no? We can change shape na yung mga cells natin kaya mag-stretch, no? Because we don't have cell wall. Okay? Moving forward, we have of course yung yolk. Sabi ko yung yolk. We have the nucleus. Nucleus is the control center of the cell. Siya yung nagde-decide, siya yung gumagawa, sa kanya din nakalagay yung mga information, yung ating genes, yung ating DNA. Okay? Yun ay nasa nucleus. So, maihahalin tulad natin yung nucleus kung tayo ay nasa isang halimbawa ngayon, no? Yung desisyon sa pagkakansela ng klase, okay? Yan ay para sa mayor, 'di ba? Sa mayor 'yan. So, maihahalin tulad natin yung nucleus sa munisipyo kasi nandoon nanggagaling yung mga desisyon ng isang siyudad, ng isang municipality, no? Ganoon din naman yung ating nucleus. Siya nagdedesisyon, siya ang nagko-control ng cell, sa kanya din naka-imbak or naka-store yung ating genetic material. Okay? And this nucleus is undeveloped in bacteria and in cyanobacteria. That's why they have plasmid instead. Okay? So mahaba yung discussion ng nucleus pero that's the very core of it, no? It controls the cell's activity. It contains and synthesizes RNA and it stores our DNA or the hereditary information in our genes. Okay? So that is nucleus. Moving forward, we have what we call the cytoplasm. No, kanina binanggit na ito that cells have fluids inside of it, and it is mainly the cytoplasm. And cytoplasms are jelly-like material that is formed by 80% water, and siya yung nagko-contain, no, sa mga organelles, sa other structure ng cell, no? Without this, yung ating cells ay parang lobo, no? Tapos yung hangin, no, siya yung cytoplasm. So pag wala yung hangin, ganun din ang itsura ng cells nyo, no? Very weak. Okay, wala siyang structure. Okay. So that is your cytoplasm. It is a jelly-like material. Kung familiar kayo sa gelatin, tas nakakain na kayo ng gelatin na may mga fruits, no? Ganun yung itsura ng cell natin. Yung organelles or the other structures, no, naka-float within the gelatin, and that's how you see cytoplasm. Yung cytoplasm ay yung gelatin. Okay? Napakasimple lang, di ba? Moving forward to our various organelles, no? Endoplasmic reticulum, we have two types of endoplasmic reticulum. We have the smooth and the rough. Okay? Dito mapapansin yung smooth, no, makinis. Ito, rough. Bakit rough? Kasi merong present na we call ribosomes. Okay? And endoplasmic reticulum, kung ang cell ay isang syudad, maihahalin tulad siya sa factories. Bakit? Siya yung nagsisynthesize ng proteins and ng lipids. Okay? So, si RAF, ER, dahil sa kanyang mga ribosomes, it has the capability to synthesize proteins. Okay? And yung smooth naman, wala siyang ribosomes, pero siya yung nagsisynthesize ng lipids para sa cell membrane or sa plasma membrane. Okay? So, as simple as that. Parang isa siyang factory na nagpo-provide ng materials, no, para sa cells natin. At siya yung nakabalot sa, ito yung ating nucleus, oh. Nasa paligid siya ng nucleus. Di ba? As simple as that. Ngayon, kung may factory ka, hindi naman sapat na gumagawa ka lang ng material. Paano mo maidi-deliver ito? No? Paano mo i-deliver yung mga materials na ito sa iba't ibang bahagi ng syudad mo or sa cells mo? Paano mo maidi-deliver? So we have what we call the Golgi apparatus or Golgi body. Okay, pinangalan kay Camilo Golgi, no? Siya yung sorting, okay? Sorting and packing center of the cell. Kasi yung synthesize kanina ni endoplasmic reticulum, no? Both proteins and lipids, siya yung nagpapak, siya yung nagsosort, and at the same time, dinideliver niya ito using what we call vacuoles. Okay? Sorry. What we call, hindi vacuoles, but rather vesicles. Okay? Yung vesicles, no? Siya yung nagde-deliver, wait lang, ng materials all throughout the cells. Si Golgi apparatus, siya yung nagpapak, tapos pag napak niya na, i-deliver yan ni vesicles. Okay? So, how does it work? As you can see over here, bear with me. Kita niyo pa ba ako? No? As you can see, the nucleus contains and stores the DNA. So, therefore, siya yung nakakaalam kung paano mag-build ng protein na kailangan. Ngayon, yung protein na yon, yung blueprint na yon, gagamitin ng ribosomes, ng RAF, ER, to produce, no, proteins. And pag nakapag-produce na siya ng proteins, dadalhin yon kay Golgi body. And it will pass through the Golgi body para siya ay mabalot ng mga sacs na ito. Tapos, ipapasa kay vesicles. Si vesicles, magta-transport, no, papunta sa iba't ibang bahagi ng cells. Maaaring palabas ng cell or maaaring papunta sa other parts of the body. The other parts of the cell or other structure as well. Okay? And nakikita nyo, si Golgi body din, bukod sa vesicles, siya nagpo-produce ng lysosomes. And lysosomes, no, they are found all throughout the cytoplasm. Ayan. They occur in most animal cells, but they are few in plant cells. So ano bang ginagawa ni lysosomes? Si lysosome siya ang nagda-digest ng large molecules and at the same time siya yung nagpo-protect. Okay, nagpo-protect din sa ating cells pag nakapasok yung mga foreign invader, no? Nilalamon niya. Okay? Ini-engulf niya. Okay? Ini-engulf niya. So, may halin tulad natin yung lysosome sa mga pulis or barangay tanod na umiikot sa ating munisipalidad para suplungin yung mga invaders, no? Ganun si lysosomes. Moving forward, we also have what we call vacuoles. Si vacuoles, sa kanya naka-store, okay? Maaring yung food, okay? Maaring waste, and most of all, water. Okay? Yung ating plant cells, mas malaki yung kailangan nilang vacuoles compare sa animal cells. Sa animal cells, vacuoles are small and few in number, pero in plant cells, they are large and more in number. Bakit kaya? Bakit kaya ganon? So the answer is simple. Yung animals, humans, fish, ano pa? Dog, lahat ng hayop, no? They have the capability to move. Kapag nauhaw sila, they can find water, no? However, plants, on the other hand, sila ay standstill lang, no? And nagre-rely sila sa water ng environment. Okay? So, anong mangyayari? So, si plant cell, kailangan niya mag-develop ng larger vacuoles para makapag-store siya ng larger amount of water. Kasi hindi niya naman kaya uminom kapag nauhaw siya eh. So, kailangan niya lang maging handa at mag-ipon ng tubig hanggat kaya niya. Para kapag naubos yung supply ng tubig sa environment, yung cells niya meron pa rin. Okay? Vacuoles, again, stores water, food, no? And even waste minsan. Okay? So that is your vacuoles. Ang dami na nating napag-usapang organelles. Sige nga, tingnan muna natin kung ano-ano yon. We have one, the plasma membrane. Siya yung outer shell, siya yung border ng ating cell city. We also have the nucleus, siya yung control center ng ating cell. Siya yung naglalaman ng mga impormasyon at the same time nagdedesisyon para sa ating cell. We also have the cytoplasm. It holds everything together. It connects everything together. No? It is a jelly-like figure or jelly-like structure na nag-hold sa ating mga organelles. What else? We have the factory of the cells, what we called it. It's the endoplasmic reticulum. We also have the sorting and packaging center of the cell. That is what is that? The Golgi body. Yung nagde-deliver, that is vesicles. Yung nagpapatrol para tumulong, nakainin yung masasama, sugpuin yung masasama, that is what we call? That is lysosome. And yes, we have vacuoles. Okay? Madami pa yan, no? We're almost there, no? Konti na lang. Now, lahat ng bagay na ito, hindi ito magiging possible kung wala silang energy, kung wala silang capability to conduct these things, no? Lahat ng sinabi ko kanina, hindi nila magagawa kung wala silang energy. At yung energy na ginagamit ng ating mga cells, yun ay in form of what we call adenosine triphosphate. And adenosine triphosphate is produced by mitochondria. Okay? Because mitochondria, ang tawag nga ng iba dyan, is the powerhouse of the cell. Not because it produced the energy, but because it produced the molecule. It synthesized the molecule responsible in providing energy all throughout our cells. Okay? And kapag tayo pumunta na sa aerobic and anaerobic respiration, malalaman nyo din kung paano ba pinoproduce yung ATP. But the point is, it is mainly produced in our mitochondria. mitochondria. That's why we call the mitochondria the powerhouse of the cell. Okay? Moving forward, now we have what we call plastids. Gutom na ako. We have plastids. Yung plastids, they are not found in humans, especially in animals, no? Ang plastid ay nakikita lang sa plants, no? Kaya nga plastids, no? Plants. And sometimes they are found in some algae, especially dun sa mga algae na nagpo-photosynthesis, because plastids are responsible for activities related to making and storing food. Eh tayo naman, yung animals naman, we do not have the capability to produce our own food. So, what are the plastids, no? Na nagpo-produce ng food and nag-i-store ng food and other things, no? Ito yan. We have 3. Okay? First is the pigment, no? The pigment responsible plastids. Ibig sabihin siya ang responsable sa pagpo-produce at pag-i-store ng pigments. When we say pigments, that is color. Okay? Kaya ang pangalan ng plastid na ito ay chromoplast. Chromo, color. Okay? What are the examples of pigments that we have? We have what we call carotene, that is found in carrots. We have xanthophyll, found in mangoes. We have lycopene, very familiar kayo dyan, and that is found in your vegetable. Okay? Chromoplast is responsible for the different colors na nakikita natin sa fruits and vegetables and even flowers. Okay? Next, we have, again, this is type of plastid, we have leucoplasts. No? In leucoplasts, they are colorless, but their main purpose is to store the food. Okay? At yung food na yon usually ay in form of different organs ng plants, which is fruits, tubers, or even seeds. So, ano example niyan? Of course, yung potato, tubers, ang food na naka-store sa kanya ay starch. Yung atin namang corn, no, yung grains nito, ano naka-store sa kanya? Proteins. Yung atin namang seeds, no, ang naka-store sa kanya ay oil. Okay, that is the responsible plastid for storing those food is leucoplast. Okay? Next, of course, how would they be able to produce their own food if we do not have chloroplast? Chloroplast is the organelle or the plastid responsible for converting light energy into chemical energy, no, in order to form food. Okay? And they are the one providing the green color, no, sa ating mga plants. Bakit kulay green? Because of the chlorophyll. Malapit na tayo matapos, don't worry. Again, plastids are only found, no? Yung ating chromoplast, leucoplast, at chloroplast, they are found only in plant cells. Moving forward, we have what we call the centrosomes. Centrosomes, no, they are responsible for movements, especially in the formation of cilia and flagella. Cilia and flagella. And tingnan natin, ano ba sir yung cilia and flagella? Balikan natin yung bacterial cell. No? As you can see, meron siyang parang buntot. Meron siyang parang buntot, itong buntot na kulay blue. That is what we call the flagella. Okay? And flagella is used for movement. So, para ma-form ito, kailangan mo ng centrosome. Okay? So, kailangan may centrosome ka. And at the same time, yung hair-like structure, no, na nakapaligid sa bacterial cell na ito, they are what we call the cilia. And they are very important, especially in a unicellular organism or prokaryotes para makagalaw sila. Okay? So, they can move around various surfaces. And saan pa natin nakikita itong flagella na ito? Yes, of course. No, yung buntot na ito, makikita niya rin sa ating sperm cells. No? and responsible for the movement of sperms. So, para magkaroon ng flagella, kailangan natin ng centrosome. Okay? At siya ay pinoproduce ng centrosome, yung ating cilia and flagella. And at the same time, siya din ay nagpo-produce ng spindle fibers, no? Yung spindle fibers na ito, responsible din siya para naman sa movement ng chromosome sa cell division. Kasi 'di ba, sabi natin cells came from pre-existing cells. And it has what we call the process cell division na pag-usapan natin next week. At yun ay no, yung movement ng what we call this chromosomes doon ay dahil sa microfibers or sa spindle fibers that is produced by centrosomes. Next. Dito po may natulog. Opo. Ayun. Next. And lastly, this is what we call the cytoskeleton. And cytoskeleton is very simple. We have cytoplasm, and cytoplasm alone cannot hold that position or the figure. So, kailangan niya din ng structure. And yung nagbibigay ng structural strength na yon ay yung ating cytoskeleton. Okay? At siya yung tumutulong sa cytoplasm to have a structure. Now, those are the different organelles that we have in our cells. Those are the different organelles and structures. So, balikan nga natin. Kapag sinabi nating prokaryotic, yan ay unicellular cells. Kapag sinabi nating eukaryotic, ibig sabihin yan ay multiple or multicellular organism. So, tingnan natin. Ano ulit yung structure? What is the three major structure of cells? We have of course, the shell, that is yung border, yan ay plasma membrane. What else? We also have the control center, that is the nucleus. Ano pa? Nandyan din yung ating jelly-like fluid. No? That is it holds the organelles together. That is yours. That is your cytoplasm. Okay, very good. Now, we also have organelles, no? Bukod doon sa three major structure, we have organelles. Ano yung una? Yung factory, yung nagpo-produce ng protein, nagpo-produce ng lipid. Ang tawag natin sa kanya ay endoplasmic reticulum. So, endoplasmic reticulum, meron tayong smooth, meron tayong rough. Yung endoplasmic reticulum na smooth, wala siyang ribosomes. Wala siyang ribosomes. Ang pinoproduce niya ay, yung smooth, ang pinoproduce ay lipids. Kapag may ribosomes, ibig sabihin, may capability siya na mag-synthesize ng proteins. So, kapag rough, siya ay nag-synthesize ng proteins. Smooth and rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ngayon, nakapag-produce ka na ng materials. Yung materials na yon gusto mong i-deliver, gusto mong i-pack, gusto mong i-sort, gusto mong i-package. Sino ang kailangan mo? You have the Golgi body. Si Golgi body or Golgi apparatus, siya ang mag-sort, magpapak nito, and ang magde-deliver ay yung ginagawa niya. Nagpo-produce siya ng tinatawag nating vesicles. Okay, vesicles yung nagde-deliver all throughout the cells. And si Golgi body, siya din yung nagpo-produce ng organelle na nag-e-engulf ng mga threats from the outside. Anong tawag doon? That is the lysosomes. Parang police, parang patrol. Anong ginagawa? Pinapatrolan yung ating cell para lamunin, i-engulf yung ating mga threat or microorganisms na maaaring pumasok sa ating mga cells. We have lysosome. O what else? Bukod doon, ano pa? Ano pang meron? Nasaan tayo? Nasaan ako? Nawala ako. Okay. Ano pang meron? Bukod doon, lysosomes. We also have lysosomes. We have the ano pa? Vacuoles. Ay, naghihintay ako ng sagot. Nakalimutan ko, hindi ako naka-online class. We have the vacuoles. Yung vacuoles, doon nagpo-produce ng, doon nag-i-store ng water, ng food, and ng waste. Now, you have the vacuoles. Sa animal cells, marami kaunti. Animal cells, kakaunti. Okay? Sa plant cells, madami kakaunti. Madami. Sa plant cells, madami. Sa animal cells, kakaunti. Okay? Hindi tayo magpa-function kung walang energy. Sino magpo-produce ng energy? That is the mitochondria. Mitochondria. Powerhouse of the cell. Tapos, we have also plastids. Si plastids, saan lang siya available? Sa plant cells and algae. Ano yung tatlong uri nito? We have color, pigment, nagpo-produce ng pigment that is chromoplast. Nag-i-store ng food, colorless siya ay leucoplast. Responsible for photosynthesis, anong tawag natin sa kanya? That is the chloroplast. Again, what is the three types of plastids that we have in plant cells? We have the chromoplast, leucoplast, and chloroplast. Okay? Next. What else? We have yung nagpo-produce ng spindle fiber or natulong sa pag-form ng cilia at ng flagella. That is centrosome. Centrosome. And next, we have nagpo-provide ng structure. Parang katawan lang natin, kailangan natin ng skeleton. So therefore, we have cytoskeleton. Okay? So those are your different organelles, structures na meron sa cells. So, for your asynchronous activity, no, ang gagawin natin simple lang, no? Dalawa. Una, i-differentiate natin ang prokaryotic kay eukaryotic cells. Ano ba pagkakaiba ng prokaryotes sa eukaryotic cells? Okay? And at the same time, we are also going to differentiate animal cells to plant cell using our Venn diagram. Okay? Using our Venn diagram. Medyo mahaba yung discussion ko. The first part is around 17 minutes. The second part is around 32 minutes. Nasa sa inyo kung papanoorin nyo ng buo. Nasa sa inyo kung you will just use the power notes. Nasa sa inyo. Pero I'll be posting your asynchronous activity on your Google Classroom. So kindly check your Google Classroom to answer your activity. Thank you so much.